Former Speaker of the House and Mayor of Portland, Vera made a difference in this world. Vera was born in 1933 in Germany, and as a child, she escaped Nazi Germany and came to New York City. Her incredible story continued as she came to Oregon, and she was elected in 1972 to the Oregon House of Representatives and joined Betty Roberts, Norma Paulus to form the Legislative Assembly's first Women's Caucus. She also became the first woman in Oregon's history to chair Ways and Means in 1977. She made a history of firsts again as the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House. Vera Katz was known for her boisterousness, her boldness, her attention to detail, and tenacity. As mayor of Portland, she championed projects that revitalized the city. Some of my earliest times in knowing Vera were when she would, as the Speaker of the House, and she would have her staff call into Jackie's Ribs, and I always knew that there was going to be a caucus meeting. She would order her ribs and chicken and all of the trimmings, so I knew that her caucus would be working late. There's something else about Vera and myself that I've always cherished. We both cherish and love to dance. Mr. President, today let's honor Vera Katz, her legacy, her impact. We will forever remember Vera as a visionary leader and who dedicated her life to public service. Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I urge your aye vote.
Recognize Senator Luke Frederick.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, there is an aspect of Vera Katz that is always discussed whenever you met her, and that was her humanity. She was one of the folks that you could go to. She was going to be tenacious. She was going to make sure that you understood what was going on, but she was also very sure that you were going to understand the compassion that she had for all the people that she met. Even for the young 24-year-old who showed up at her front door and said, I'd like to have a job with you. And she said, what can you do? How long have you been here in Oregon? And she said, I told her 2 years. She said, not enough. About in 1993, she called me into her office in Portland and wanted to know whether I was interested in taking a job with her as a communications person. I said, sure, I'd be interested. About a week later, I got a call from the school board, school superintendent, who offered me a job with the Portland schools. I took it. 15 minutes after I took it, Vera called and said she wanted to offer me the job. And I said, well, Vera, I've already got this other one, and it's going to pay me a little bit more. She said, you're making a mistake. I wasn't, but that's what she wanted to let me know. Several years later, as we were in this building with my mother, she made it a point of telling my mother that I had made a mistake in not taking the job with her. But she was also very gracious about the fact that she wanted to let everyone know that she enjoyed what I had done with the school district and that she was going to let my mom know that as well. We will miss Vera Katz. We will miss the kind of energy, the kind of support, the dedication she had to the state of Oregon, to the people of Oregon. She's going to be missed quite a bit, and I just wanted to make sure that I got a chance to say something about this truly grand lady. Thank you.
Senator Betsy Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Several members of the Senate had the honor of attending Vera's memorial service on January the 28th in Portland. Programs from that service are on your desk. They captured the quintessential Vera. What a wonderful, fitting, heartfelt tribute superbly prepared speakers, especially Vera's son, and a room full of Vera's friends and family. It was always evident that Vera loved Portland and Oregon. On January the 28th, it was obvious that her city and her state loved her back.
Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward.
Thank you, Mr. President. I didn't have the privilege of knowing Vera Katz as well as many of you did, having not served with her in the legislature. But as someone who was relatively new to Portland when she was mayor, and as a Jewish woman, it was wonderful to see a Jewish woman taking her values of tikkun olam, of repairing the world, of perfecting the world, and translating them into serving her state, her community, with such richness and depth and compassion and integrity. She was a model for many of us, regardless of our faith tradition. And for me, as a personal role model, I hope that I will be able to continue to follow in her example of always putting service to my community ahead of anything else. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further discussion? Senator Williams, you're closing. The question now arises.